Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today we are ranking all of the makeup products I used in the month of September. This is all of the makeup that is not eyeshadow palettes, so if you want to see eyeshadow palettes ranked, I'll leave that linked here in the cards. But this is all the other makeup and I'm happy to say that I have some empties this video, things that I've been working on that are finally used up. And this is a mixture of old things and new things, just anything I've used this month from worst to best. I've got 33 items this month, so let's get started. Before we get too far into the video, if you've not already, I would love it if you consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It's totally free to subscribe, and I would love to have you back again on the channel and talk with you in the comments about makeup. So number 33, if you've been here before, she's still here, the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. For me, this transfers just like badly, usually like around here when I wear it. I think it's almost gone though. I had to take the stopper out and I'm like scraping it. So I think I'm finally done with this one. I'm hoping October I'll be able to report that it's just like done and I can not repurchase it and just like forever be done with it. In number 32, the Ritual Defeat Luminous Elixir 3-Drop Foundation. This is the lab sample. This, when I put it on, it's usually too oily without setting it. And even then, especially here, it seems to settle into my pores and break up badly, even when I use primers that are supposed to help that and do help that with other foundations. So that is another one I'm just trying to use up and be totally done with. The Laura Geller Red Carpet Ready Palette. These mats just have like barely any pigmentation. The highlighter actually don't mind. I've got pan in 2 of the 3 of these. I kind of want to use this product up completely and just have it be done, but it's also just so much packaging for 3 shades. So this was like $2 or $3 at TJ Maxx, so at the time I was like, wow, it's so cheap, what a deal. But you know, I can see now why with the quality. So we're in the low, like things that I don't consider high quality. I'm just using up because I don't like the feeling of wasting money. And yeah, it's nothing I'll ever repurchase again. Same with number 30. This is actually a super old Avon palette, but I've been using just like the black in this palette to do like shadow liner if I have a palette that doesn't have something deep enough to create a shadow liner, but not great quality. Like it shows up, it has more pigmentation actually than the Laura Geller, which is why it's rated a bit higher, but it's still pretty like dusty and not in a good way. Number 29 is the REM Beauty Under Eye Cooling Balm. I have the little mini. I actually really like the effect of this product, but it is like so dry that when I like take a little out and put it on my eye, a lot of times it'll like try to fall off my face and not melt. It's just like, I don't know, solidified in a weird way. I don't know if it's always like that or if it's just like an old mini sample that I got when I ordered it. So I like it once it's on, but the application process is hard because it is so like dried in chunks that I'm trying to like use the warmth of my face to melt the product and it's trying to like fall off my face instead of sticking to it. So again, I like how it looks once it's on, but it's a struggle to process. In number 28 is the Coty Airspun Translucent Setting Powder. Like I said, I've been using the setting powder a lot when I'm trying to get rid of the Ritual Defeat foundation because it's too oily on its own, and I set it to try to get rid of some of that oil. This is just like so overly fragranced. And I think there are other powders that are more finely milled as well. But it does provide some coverage and it gets the job done, but it's still like not good to me. Now in number 27, we're in the products that they're not bad, they're just okay. First up is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Concealer. I have been loving the foundation, that'll be later in this ranking, but the concealer, like again, it's not bad. It doesn't crease or look drying or anything like that. I just don't feel like there's a ton of coverage with it. It's more of a light coverage. I like usually at least medium, and I don't feel like it's very buildable. So it just doesn't give what it needs to give a lot of times. But it's not like making it adverse effect. It's just like, what's the point if it's not going to do anything, you know? Why am I spending this step to not get what I need? So this next one that's in 26, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just old, but I don't know, can you see it's like separating a little bit. This is from Black Moon, it's Hazel. I actually just put this in my recent fall lip favorites. I'll leave that linked if you're interested. It was fine once I got it on the lips, but it's starting to do the same thing it did the first time, which is like separate a little bit weirdly inside. Like it's like the oil and the pigment are coming apart from each other, and I shook it a lot to remix it and like made it work, and it still looked fine on, still felt fine, but I'm kind of like, I've had this a little while. Is it maybe just expired? So it's not Black Moon Cosmetics or that product's fault. You know, I still recommend it, but I think just like maybe my personal one in my collection is bad, and that's why I had to rank it a little bit lower with like my use of it in its current state. The next one might be shocking because it was ranked pretty high in some previous months. This is from Fenty. It's the Eavesdrop Lit. You can see maybe that I've used, you know, like a significant amount here. I've still got a lot left. This one I have found I can use only like sparingly. I can't use it every day because it was actually breaking me out. So if I use it just like one day here or there, it's usually okay. But when I tried to wear it for like a week straight, I started getting terrible acne and like narrowed it down to this being the thing. So there's got to be something that's just like not non-comedogenic for my skin. It's clogging the pores somehow. So yeah, I'll use it up, but sadly I don't think I can repurchase this because it was causing breakouts. In number 24, again, we're just in the like matte categories. This is the NYX Tame and Frame Tinted Brow Pomade. Just using it up because yeah, I paid money for it, but it's just getting kind of dried out. So again, it's not the product's fault, it's just in its current state. That's how it is. And number 23 is an item I've been working on a long time. It's in my planning to pan 24 items in 2024. And it is the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlighter. This one's in shade 250, and it was kind of an icy white-ish highlighter. At the time I got it, it was like the most blinding highlighter I'd ever seen or had in my collection, but there's just other things I like so much better now that it was not bad, right? We're in that mid category where it wasn't terrible, but it was just kind of like, I could take it or leave it and it wouldn't be that life-changing. It's just okay. So yeah, I'm not planning on like replacing it or anything. I have way too many highlighters, so we're just gonna move on to other things. In number 22 is the liquid blush I got from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I honestly don't even know where it is right now, but I'm gonna link the video where I tried it. It was more pigmented than I was expecting. We'll just maybe leave it at that. And if you want a good laugh, you can go watch that video. So I ranked it here because I still think it was and is still more like user error. Like I just need to figure out how to use a liquid blush a bit better because I'm used to a powder or a cream and not a liquid. And I do like the color and I don't think it's a bad formulation. I just need more experience with it. In number 21, also from Jaclyn Cosmetics, is this bronzer. It is in shade Skinny Dip. That's what I'm wearing today. Actually, I like the pigmentation of it. You know, it's not too much too fast, very blendable, very buildable. I like the scent of it. I think this just isn't my number one bronzer because it's a bit warm toned for me. Like, I don't think it looks bad, but I do like something a little even more neutral, maybe even cool tone leading than this. But I understand it's a bronzer, not a contour, so the warmth makes sense. And I'm not like mad at this. It's again, it's one of those where like it's fine. I don't know if it's one of my favorites of all time, but it's okay. It's maybe even better than okay. We're like getting towards the stuff that's good, but it's not like the S tier items. In number 20 from Menagerie Cosmetics is this liquid lipstick in the shade Hyacinth. So this one I only didn't rank any higher because it's just like one of those shades that's like a time or place, but I do really love the applicator on the Menagerie formula. It's a very pigmented formula. It's quite liquidy and wet when you first apply it, but it will dry down. Not transfer proof by any means, but long lasting. So I like that liquid lipstick formula just fine, but again, I think it's mostly the shade that made it not any higher. Number 19 is our other empty for the video. It is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I've said for many months that this is a good product. It works well. I like the fact that there's an actual applicator and you don't just have to like squeeze it onto your finger, but you can get other things that I feel like are just as good. This one will be coming up that are cheaper. So yeah, this one's not bad. I wouldn't be mad to have it again, but I don't see myself spending what this costs to re-get this one when there are others that do the same thing for less. And so in 18 is where I put this one. I put it slightly higher because it's not that it's better quality, it just costs less, and I feel like it does the same thing. This is the primer I'm wearing today, and I literally don't notice a difference in quality. Yeah, the formula is definitely not the same, but the result is the same. This is the Colourpop Party Proof Eye Primer. I paid $5 for this. So, and this one's in shade Translucent. Yeah, it's just not like a super exciting thing that I felt like rating high and like any higher. And obviously, like it's an eyeshadow primer, you know what I mean? Like it's an important thing. It's something I use literally every time I do my makeup, but it's still like, it's an eye primer. It's not like that one's a life-changing one. It's just, I feel like any will do as long as it doesn't crease and like does what an eye primer is supposed to do. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. In number 17 is the Give Me Glow Cinnamon Bun Lip Liner specifically, but honestly, I could say any of these lip liners. They're really nice. They are like twistable, retractable, I guess is the word I'm looking for. They are $1 each right now from Give Me Glow. So these, like, I didn't rank them any higher just because the fact that they're retractable, sometimes once you use it, you can't be as precise with them because you can't sharpen it to get that nice like tip. Like this is a new one, so the tip's still pretty sharp, but once I use it and it starts going down because I'm twisting it and not sharpening it, it's not as precise. But for $1, like come on, you can't really beat it. They're super creamy, the colors are great, they're pretty long lasting. Yeah, so those are nice for $1. Check them out if you want a lip liner. And number 16 is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Care and Glow Foundation. Mine's in shade 120N. I like this one okay. There's another foundation I used this month that I like even more. This one doesn't feel too cakey, but it does have like that expensive, like florally, like old lady perfume scent. It dissipates. It does. It doesn't last, but it's just, it's not my favorite. I wish we could like tweak that about the formula. And number 15 are my Mob Cream Clay Shadows. Here are the ones I have across the top that I used this month. And I really love how these add to a look. I really, really do. Everything just is so easily diffused and blended looking when I use these. I think the only reason that I don't have them higher is because they are a little high maintenance with like you having to set them so they don't crease. So they're not bad. You just have to like know how to use them, and I'm getting there now, and they are a little high maintenance I feel like to make them last. But it does give it just the most beautiful diffused blended look that like it's worth it if you have the time to do that step. And number 14 is my Mob Beauty Blush. That's this one right here. I do really love the shade. Sometimes I wish it was a little more pigmented because I feel like this one is pigmented and this one's not as pigmented. So there's days that I'll use this one with a different blush just because I feel like this one's not showing up even when I'm like layering it. So it's not bad, and it just depends. Maybe you want just like the teeniest baby's little flush, but for me, I want like a little more pigmentation. And number 13 is my Fantasy Cosmetic lip oil. This is in a Freet. This one has more of a fruity scent to it. And this, there's a couple things. This applicator is kind of unique, but it's a bit too big to be precise in my opinion, especially since this is more of a pigmented lip oil. And the other thing is, I don't think these were advertised as plumping, but like it's a little like tingly feeling and like my tongue feels numb when I use it. That's like a weird thing, but that's what I've experienced like every time I've used it. So I love how it looks. I love how it feels, but the application and the formula is like, I don't know, it's a little weird. So it's not number one S tier, but like it's higher up. I do love the shade to the point where I want to rank it higher because I feel like that's like a unique shade of lip oil. And number 12 is the Mob Cake Liner. I've gotten to use these a little bit more this month and gotten a bit more adept at using them. And I love the fact that these are so budge proof. Like once you put it on, you do not have to worry about that thing fading at all. Like it will be there for you. And unlike some other cake liners, it stays like, it doesn't crack. There's no cracks or like flaking off of the cake liner, because I've had that happen with some other ones. And yeah, those are good products if you like a cake liner. And number 11 is my Benefit Gimme Brow Plus Gel. I mean, you can tell it's well loved when the label is basically gone. This is what I'm wearing today. This is, I think, the only brow gel now in my entire collection, so I use it every day. And it's my favorite brow gel. I still don't know if it's my perfect one, because I do feel like sometimes too much product comes off on the applicator. But it's the best one I've found so far. So maybe I'll find something I like better someday, but so far it's the best. It's just not the best product of the month. And number 10 is the blush I'm using today, and I've been using this one a lot lately. This is the first Super Shock blush that I've ever used from Colourpop. I get the hype now completely. This is a matte one. This is in virtual reality. It's part of their collab with Mariale. Here's the cover. I just love that this is like, it's like a cream to powder situation, and you can probably see my skin's pretty glowy. Like it kind of looks like a cream blush when it's on, and I do have some highlighter over top of it, but this one just, I feel like I need more of the Super Shock blushes now. Please, Colourpop. Like, I know you have a lot of them, but they're so good, and this was cheap. Like, I don't think I paid more than $6 or $7 for this, and it's this good. It's this good. I love it. Yeah, now we're getting into the products that it's like, no, this is actually good. This isn't good. This is good, you guys. We're in our top 10 now, and these are the products that it's like, oh no, I love this one. This one I may have to replace when it's out. That's where we're at now. And number 9 from Adept Cosmetics, this is their multi-purpose palette, the Catch Yourself White palette. The iridescent shades, so pretty. This can be a highlighter, eyeshadow. I usually use this as eyeshadow, and these are the only two, I think, like cream highlighters I think that I have in my collection, and they're such pretty multi-chrome shades. The fact that it's Adept, the fact that it's shifty, the fact that it's Star Trek themed. Need I say more? But I only used it, I will say, like a couple times this month. So although I love it, I didn't want to give it the number 1 spot when I wasn't like going back to it again and again and again this month. And number 8 from Unearthly Cosmetics, this is one of their bullet lipsticks from the Dreamer collection. And this lipstick is in the shade called Dreamer. This is more of like a neutrally brown. I had this in my fall lips that I recommended for 2024. I'll leave that linked if you are interested in seeing it, but very comfortable, hydrating lip formula, very smoothing, not transfer proof. I wouldn't call this one long wear, but it is really pretty and comfortable. Next up, a lip oil from Colourpop Cosmetics. Either of them from the Twilight collection are great. This one's Team Jacob. This is the one I've been using more. It's the more like black one. It comes off just with like the tiniest little hue of gray. You can't really see the sparkles on the lips and you don't feel them. Kind of wish you could see the sparkles a little bit more on the lips. Maybe you can see it a little there in the tube, but that doesn't really show up on the lips. But it's just a very comfortable, hydrating feeling formula that's not too thick, and I do like that about it. Next up from Mob Beauty is their lipstick. This one was in that video as well, and this is in the shade M110. Just such a pretty, I mean, year-round, really, not just fall. It's just a brown lipstick. I love a brown lipstick, always have, and I think I always will. And this is a special formula. Like, there's a reason I rank this above the Adept one. I don't know. It's the fact that it's a little skinnier, I feel like makes it a little bit easier to apply. And I don't know, it just, the way it looks is elevated. It's hard to describe though, like how exactly. I don't know, it just makes my lips look full somehow. it's magic. I can't describe it, but I feel like it makes my lips look fuller. Top 5 from Nimya, the License to Glow Serum. This has been a lifesaver for those foundations that are just a bit too matte. I put this on ahead of time and it really, really helps it to look more like a natural finish, a skin-like finish. So that's a really good one. Number 4, a longtime favorite, the Benefit Professional Super Setter. This is my #1 setting spray. I recommend to anybody who wants long-lasting makeup, especially if you don't want the overly like dehydrating alcohol tightening feeling on your face. This doesn't do that, but it still makes your makeup last. It's what I used on my wedding day, and that's game changer. Game changer, will repurchase every time. Number 3, I had to give it to the Mob Beauty bronzer because I'm sorry, hello, we organically hit pan. This is not on a project pan. I'm not trying to hit pan on it. I just simply used it so many times that I organically hit pan. And that says something. That says something about how much I'm reaching for and using a product when I have a collection the size I do and I hit pan without trying. We love it. We love it. It's not the one I'm wearing today. I'm wearing the Jaclyn one, but I've been wearing that a ton on a daily basis. It's just the most flattering, natural looking bronzer, and the undertone is just perfect for me. If you're a similar shade to me, it is in M80, their cream bronzer. That I love, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to replace that because that's amazing. As amazing as it is, I've found a combo, and I put these in number 2 and number 1 because this combo is just like, I don't know, it's really changed my foundation routine. The REM Beauty Blurring Primer, this one, I mean, these two came together, and I told you this was like very near the bottom. This does not break apart and have that piecey, like maybe it's the component. It doesn't do that weird breaking up, falling off my face thing, and this smooths me out so much. It is very put a filter on, but it doesn't feel too silicone-y like some of the old-fashioned, like the, what was that Benefit Professional, like I don't like those like silicone-y feeling primers anymore, and that doesn't feel like that. It feels hydrating, but it does smooth everything. And that paired with number 1, man, and it's what I'm wearing today, I'm just like, fine lines wear. Fine lines wear. You can't clock it. And if you can, no you can't. You keep that to yourself. And Colourpop is number 1. Colourpop is number 1, the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. Oh my gosh, like this looks a little different than what is on me, but like this is what I'm wearing. Mine's in shade Fair 30N, and it just, I'm wearing the littlest bit, like not even a full pump. I feel like it gives me plenty of coverage for my redness and any acne scarring, but it's not so full coverage that I look cakey. It is so skin-like, and that's it. I think it might be my favorite foundation right now. The Huda Glowish is what I wore for my wedding. And that I think is good for like a glam look, but like for an everyday natural skin looking look, I love this one. I love it so much. Definitely number 1 in a heartbeat, and I got it for $8, you guys, $8. Yeah, so that's all of the products I used in the month of September. What have you been using? What have you been trying to use up? I'm, like I said, super happy to at least get a couple empties in this video. And on to October, on to more fall autumnal makeup for sure. Thanks so much if you made it all the way to the end. I hope to see you again on the next one. Bye.